Breaking up with someone can be an act of love for both people involved, if you make sure it's for the right reasons. Keep watching this video so Jay can teach you how to break up with someone that you love.
Well, the first thing you want to do is make sure it's a good thing, like a positive thing, like the best thing. Breaking up with someone out of like anger or revenge or screw them or whatever, or like I'm gonna make a power play and show them that I can lead the relationship. Whatever people do, right? Whatever the reasons people break up, there's like a million bad reasons to break up, and there's like one good one, which is it's the right, most positive, most loving thing for both people, even if both don't realize it. So you want to make sure you're coming from that foundation. If it's the best, most loving, most positive thing, it becomes a lot easier to do. If it's for one of the other reasons, then it doesn't feel very good to do it, and it doesn't go very smoothly or well. And you can kind of tell, which side of the coin you're on, because like when you think about it and imagine doing it, it feels like the best thing, and you're not going to just point flip back and forth like, oh, we'll get back together and break up and make up. Like, you're actually pretty serious. It feels right. And like minds can change and hearts can change and stuff, and it's possible to get back together soon, but it's less likely, right? It's kind of like closing a business or building a house, like some big move in your life. It's not really something you're gonna flip-flop back and forth on. Like I might have promised myself, if this person makes me angry again, or if I find myself getting angry at this person again, universe, like this is a sign that it's time to move on. And so if I made that promise to myself, the next time anger happens and I choose to break up with someone, like they might think it's out of anger, but I know the truth. I know I've been thinking about it and praying about it and like being at peace with it for a long time. Yeah, so like that's what I'm saying, right? If you've already like thought it through and sorted it out and imagined it and like understood that it's the best, most loving thing, the words come a lot easier, right? Because you're like, look, some people on the planet aren't ready for each other or going different life paths and directions, and like it's fine. And even though bonds can feel very close and intense, it's okay to separate or distance or whatever. We can love each other in different ways. Like, I know this is the right thing to do, even if you don't know it. And I'm not doing it to hurt you. Like, I'm doing it to help your life be better. Like, you will find the right person, or maybe we'll reunite when we're more ready or whatever, right? But like, these are the words of someone who's really at peace with it and understands they're doing the correct thing for everyone. The words don't come when you have other things going on, when you haven't sorted out your foundation, right? When you're like, well, screw you, I'm leaving. Well, we were never good together anyways. Well, yeah, and drama. Like, it's that comes when you haven't sorted it out, when you don't really believe it's the correct thing to do. You're not doing it from a loving thing. Like, the words come when you know it's a very loving thing you're doing. No matter what the other person says or what objections they have, you're just gentle about it. It's kind of like telling a child, like, no, this candy will make you sick today. The child is furious that their candy is being taken away. But you never like, oh, I don't know what to say. Like, you know what to say. Look, honey, it hurts me as much as it hurts you. I don't want to do this. Like, I want you to have the candy, but like, you're just gently telling them, and there's nothing they can say or do that makes you budge, right? You just know, I'm not making this child sick tonight. I'm gonna, feed them a healthy food, or they can not have anything. But either way, it's not right to give the candy, and it's not right to give yourself in a relationship. You see how it all hinges on the foundation of knowing you're doing the correct thing? That's the most important thing to sort out, and most people never do it. And then they wonder why these situations are hard to navigate. Like, every human being has a heart and a conscience and feelings, emotions, or whatever. And our heart guides us in the important decisions of life. Doesn't mean you can't use your brain and think things through, but generally, especially in relationships, you should probably be guided by your heart and your feelings. and your conscience. And your conscience is guiding you to be a good human. It's guiding you to do the right thing. So your conscience will be telling you, like, if you're behaving properly in this situation, if you're handling it well, if you're supposed to be with this person or not supposed to be with this person. Most people get confused because they haven't had practice listening to their conscience and acting on the directions from their conscience. So it gets to be kind of a big journey. Like, oh, I just want to answer on should I break up or not? Or how do I do it? But it's like, but dude, you're saying like, I just want to make a 7-course meal, but I've never studied cooking. Like, sorry, you're going to have to sit down and get ready, like practice a little bit and put in some time and effort. You really got to practice listening to your conscience and doing the right thing and doing what's right and helping others and being positive and like this kind of thing. If you're stuck in all the chaos of drama, manipulation and playing the victim and woe is me and tit for tat and this person did this and this person did that, like the scorekeeping and stuff, that's not conscience stuff. You're off in the weeds. And if that's like how you usually roll, you just you're not equipped to navigate a breakup well. Tough love for entrepreneurs, but that's how it is. Like, okay, well, I've touched on how to follow your heart and listen to your feelings and stuff here and there in other videos and on my Facebook Lives. But it's kind of like a bigger discussion than this topic. You got to look at your life, right? Like, when someone's in your life, they're either draining you or they're energizing and uplifting you. It's pretty simple. And they might be like close to the line, like just barely energizing you or just barely draining you. But if they're just barely, like, how are they a life partner? Like, if they're just barely draining you, they're probably an acquaintance. If they're just barely energizing you, I mean, they're probably an acquaintance. Like someone you're considering for partnership, for a lifelong relationship or a long-term relationship, uplifting you and supporting you all the time. So like, it's not really that difficult. It's going to be obvious. And so you can make a list of pros and cons or keep score or whatever, but deep down in your heart or whatever, if this person generally makes your life better, a better quality of life and makes you a better person, or they just generally aren't that valuable and drain you and derail your life and don't bring a lot of value. It's pretty obvious. If it's not obvious, I'm wondering like how you can interact with anyone. The summary is, 1, make sure you have a strong foundation for breaking up with someone, that you're doing the right thing and you know it's the right thing and you've gotten clear on it. 2, when you express yourself, if you're coming from a good place and following your heart and following your conscience, then the words will come, because just like telling a child with candy, you know what to say. Like, you're doing it to help everyone involved. And 3, if you can't tell if somebody's draining you or uplifting you, and you're keeping score and stuff and like trying to weigh the pros and cons of this person, then it's probably not a good fit anyways. Like, it should be obvious. So yeah, with those 3 things in mind, hopefully navigating a breakup with someone you care about is much easier and smoother. So again, it's like an individual thing, of course. It's different for everybody, and your conscience should be guiding you here, right? Like, if this person is like toxic, and just interacting with them at all will create pain and drama for everybody, or if, the odd interaction here or there could be decent, right? Maybe you go back to being friends or acquaintances or business partners or something else. It's possible, but just the same way breaking up is the right thing, you also know, like, we should take a break for a while or not talk, or you should stay many miles from me. You kind of know, right? Like, just like with the kid and the candy, as a parent, you know the right thing to do. Should I give them a little as a treat? Fine, maybe. Or should I just cut them off from candy because they're diabetic type 50,000 and like it's terrible, right? Like, you can vibe it out. You can feel it out. People know way more than they think, but they're usually so busy trying to be selfish and get more and hang on to somebody and not be lonely and, oh my God, and look good for society and keep up appearances and have their status. And like keep their sex life. Like they're just so concerned with all the other things that they're not doing what they know is right. So that's why I started with the foundation. Like you should be doing what you know is right. And what you know is right, it will determine how close or often you interact with this ex. If you got other relationship questions, I'm pretty damn good. You can ask them in my private Facebook group. Check the link in the description below.